May I have the password, please?
Here's my picture that I drew. All right, I'm very proud of it, but I'm not proud of my commentary on my videos. This is take 3. The first take, I went all the way through, and then I realized my little Tascam recorder that I usually and always have separate. I had the brilliant idea of running a USB cable to my computer, where I realized it didn't matter how I had my setup. My setup. Wow, set up. Nobody says it like that. Anyway, it had this terrible buzz in the background that I just couldn't. I said, God damn it, I got to start it all over again. I just can't do it. So anyway, this is a picture that I started drawing a little while back. A little more than a little while back. It's based on Chris D'Elia, the comedian. His podcast, Congratulations, is actually based on a bit that he did, probably just a little throwaway bit. It was a year and a half ago, almost a year and a half ago. So I don't even know if people would remember this reference at all, but I liked it. And I had that little, bug in my head saying like, ooh, that would make a sweet picture. He was riffing on the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Hold on.
May I have the password, please?
There's a scene where Tom Cruise is going into this, not brothel, but like one of those rich people. Here, I'll have him. You know what? This is perfect. I have my button set up. I'm gonna have him explain it.
And then they put on the fucking masks with the dick nose and go look at everybody fucking. Dude, I want to do one of those. Ding, ding, ding.
That ding, 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 ding is the what, not soundtrack, the score.
Ding, ding,
for
ding,
that scene.
Ding, ding.
Ready?
Ding,
we're gonna overlay them.
Ding, 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 ding. The whole movie.
And I can't even let this ride in the background. I have one called Piano Alt, and it's not as good. It was just some part. I don't know. It's when he couldn't give the password.
May I have
the password, please? And then he gets it wrong, and then he says,
now? Get undressed.
I never watched all of this movie, but I did a lot of research when I was looking for reference photos and references and stuff. And it really sends you down like a rabbit hole of Illuminati type shit. Which is fascinating to me. But it's also, the subject matter goes into terrible territory. But it's still fascinating nonetheless. And so Tom Cruise, it's too fucking late, dude.
Dude, if there's more than 5 people fucking in a room, there has to be that music playing.
So I really was enjoying this podcast enough to make a picture a year and a half later about it. But what was it? It was just so well described. Did I do that button already?
I want to hear about it if you've ever been to one of those sex parties. I'm talking about with the cloak, though, and the dick nose. I'm not talking about, oh, yeah, I was at my buddy's house and we all started fucking. Nah. I'm talking about you showed up, there was an invitation, you took like a Rolls Royce or some shit. It was in a big house you never been in, with so much brown in it and wood fucking curvy furniture that looked so uncomfortable, big-ass chandeliers.
Now, here's the difference between what I do when I'm going over my drawings. By the way, I'm not going over my drawing at all right now, but that's fine. How many times am I going to say, hey, man, what are you doing? Like, it came together, whatever. My picture came together in the end. I will say there's a point where my belly is hanging on the desk as I worked. It's resting on there. And I know, and I just stare when I'm doing these, when I'm crunching these time lapses and stuff. I'm just staring at my chin and jowls that I'm getting. I'm gonna be a little Winston Churchill looking motherfucker. And I grew up underweight, like until I was like 25. All right, so it just blows my mind, and it especially blows my mind that I had the nerve to know that there was a camera pointing at me and letting my belly just rest up on the thing. It's like, oh, let's get this out of the way. I had a big dinner. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to me. Anyway, so what I was saying before is that Chris D'Elia's podcast. I might repeat myself right now, and I don't know, and I don't care. Chris D'Elia's podcast is one of the best stream of conscious rambling podcasts that I've ever heard. And I don't know, like, I can appreciate things, but anybody out there who has been a comedy fan since they've been in their teens, you know what I mean, buying comedy albums and shit, they might be able to relate to this. You just get dead callousness. Like, you can appreciate something that's funny, but you're not laughing out loud. And that's what's so great about Chris D'Elia's podcast to me, is that on average, I would say an average, every other show, he will get into a bit that makes me laugh so hard that I start to well up. I get the tears in the eyes and stuff. And that's, I cannot say that about any other thing that I imbibe lately. And the thing that's also great about him is that because it does feel like a very stream of conscious thing, is that he has moments like this.
I fucking forgot what I was going to say, man. And I don't remember now, and I'm pissed off.
And it's so relatable, but obviously he has a brilliance and a craft that I have not honed that myself, nor do I be so brazen to think that I could, hone that. This is what I do, is I draw things, and I still am not sure if I'm any good at that either.
What?
But I'm here and I'm doing it, Oh, did I get into this? Tom Cruise is talking through his mask. When I'm doing this, I was getting references. This is something to get into. I was getting my reference photos ready and stuff. And you cannot, you can't take for granted really good reference photos. And I lucked out with this because I didn't know how a cloak works. I don't know the workings of a cloak, and I didn't want it to just look like I had a black bed sheet strung over his shoulders. I want to get into the Harry Potterness of the cloak. And so I actually found really high quality reference photos of the actual props that were in this movie. There was some Stanley Kubrick museum with pictures and stuff. And this was after a while of getting just discouraged, thinking, oh man, I'm not going to find what I'm looking for. And I found all the reference photos that you see on the left. Even look, you can see it right there. The knot, the weird like Celtic, what are those called? Celtic knots, the design. So I had everything that I needed to make this, and but I forgot why I was bringing that up. I was watching the YouTube videos of the scenes where Tom Cruise is busted at this party, and he asks him about the password, and he busts this.
Fidelio.
I don't know what happens to air behind a mask, but
Fidelio.
I just kept rewinding that over and over again.
Fidelio.
So he asks him for the password. He says,
Fidelio.
but that's the pass. What does he say? He goes, that's the password. Ah, yes, that's the password for admittance. But what's the password to the house? And so he gets fucked up. Actually, he says,
Now, get undressed.
what do they do to him? Because I don't know if I didn't actually watch all of this movie, but I want it. Dude, I started getting obsessed with the idea of watching this movie. Now, wouldn't you think, like, we'll just watch the movie? I never got around to it. But I got obsessed with the idea of, like, these crazy, super powerful, rich Illuminati-style things. You know what I mean? And then I started watching the Stanley Kubrick not hoax, the things, the little fan things where they say that he got too close and then he died, and all that shit. He got too close to the truth, man. Like that kind of shit. I get sucked into those, But then somebody has like text on the screen and it's completely misspelled and stuff, and then it loses all credibility to me. But I like to just like a good story. I like to, what's the word I'm looking for? Humor. I like to humor the idea that shit like MK Ultra is real, just because I'm really bored at work. You know what I mean? And then I think like, oh shit, like Britney Spears really did break. You know what I mean? Let's see. Did I go through all my little board buttons here? That one.
Ding, 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 ding.
This is what spawned me
ding.
to want to do that thing. The ding, 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 ding. That bit was what made me spawn the idea of wanting to pay homage to it with a picture. And I think I went overboard because I had to pick this like little masquerade mask. The name of the video was, or not the name of the video. The name of the episode was called Dick Knows Fuck Party, because that's a brilliant way of describing what, you know, the scene. And there were like these long-nosed beak-looking masks, and I wanted to go for those, but then I saw this and I go, you know, I'm just going to go for the Tom Cruise one because I want to see if I can do this. You know what I mean? It's got all the jewels and the whatever. You know what I mean? We're getting to the end of this episode. I want to thank really quick. I want to thank my patrons. Patreon.com/ScottU. I never talk about it because I get protective. You know what I mean? Because it's so low that I don't want people to make fun of me. That's stupid. All right. I appreciate them. I thank them. I fear them. All right. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video.